Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'll follow the tutorial which is published in the SAP developers website. So today I'll build an application end-to-end using SAP CAP, Node.js and VS Code. So we will develop our projects or the applications using the CAP, that is called the SAP Cloud Application Programming Model. So we'll start our local environment, and after that we'll enhance it with SAP Fiori app, and we'll add the business logic to it and add the Fiori Launchpad to start the applications. We'll add rules, authorization, and enable the login service, and set up SAP HANA Cloud as a database. So first we'll try to check with our own database, and after that we'll use the HANA Cloud database. And after completing this project, we'll deploy our application to SAP Business Technology Platforms, that is called BTP. So this full project is divided into two groups. One is the create SAP CAP application and SAP Fiori. So that is the total development side, and after completing these projects, we will deploy our CAP application on SAP BTP Cloud Foundry environment. So we'll check everything in detail. So let's start with the create SAP CAP applications and Fiori UI. So first of all, in this tutorial, we'll discuss the introduction to application development using the CAP and Node.js, and prepare your development environment for CAP, create a CAP based applications, create an SAP Fiori Elements based on UI. So after that, we'll add business logic to our applications, create a UI using the Freestyle SAPUI5, use a local Launchpad, and after that implement rules and authorization check in CAP. So first, let's start with introduction to application development using CAP and Node.js. Okay, so first of all, overview, what is CAP and what is BTP. So if we check the overview, so basically the total diagram of the project. Here it is the end user, and that is the interim internal solutions. So end user can browse any type of applications. It doesn't matter it is desktop or mobile, and he can use any type of mobile device. It could be iOS, it could be Android, or it could be Windows, and he can also browse from his laptop. This project is mainly the risk management, and this risk management project will access through the Fiori Launchpad service, and the database is SAP HANA Cloud. So database will not in the local server, it will be in the cloud, so that you can see how it can be connected, and you have to log in to that project. After that, it will check the authorization and authentications. Based on that rule, it will log into your risk management system, and using the design we will use the Visual Studio Code and MTA. So we don't need to use the BTP platforms, we will use the Visual Studio Code to deploy our applications. So here it's just described what is CAP. So basically the CAP is the framework of languages, libraries and tools for building enterprise CAD service and applications. So basically CAP, the Cloud Application Programming Model, is a framework. Framework of what? Is the framework of language like Java, JavaScript, some libraries like database connectivity related libraries, and tools like SDK tool or CLI those type of things. I am not going to in details what is CAP, but that just a framework and it support a language so that you can build your service and applications. So what is SAP BTP? So BTP is a set of open source, actually it is the platforms. So this platform is like business technology platforms. So it also provides some infrastructure service and also platforms related service and microservice for build any model and or any type of applications. So that is the short version of the BTP and CAP. So honestly speaking, if you work on the BTP and CAP, you need to know all details, how it works, what is the architecture. So you can browse and you can see. I'm not going details here. So now we have to prepare your development environment for CAP. So let's start on that. So we have to install. I will use the Windows. So if your development environment is Mac, then you have to use the Mac OS. So I am using the Windows. So for Windows, first you have to install the SQLite. So as a prerequisites, we have to install the SQLite. So here it is totally described how you can download and how you can install. It's just a straightforward way. You need to download the zip file and after that you can install. So in my laptop it is already installed. So if I go to that C drive, I can see that like SQLite, it is already there. So you don't need to now I'm not installing this as it is already installed. So let's start this again. So now that editor, so editor gets started. So it's like that you have some software already installed. So basically that BS Code. So BS Code also I have installed the BS Code here. So like, so BS Code is here. It is just for the another project. It's like, okay. And so basically that SQLite editor will use the BS Code. You need to install it. And you also need to install the command line CLI terminal. So this is also I install like for here. I'm not going in details, but you can follow to install. So that is the Git. So Git is required for the version management. So whenever you install the Git, you can store your applications in different versions, and based on that version you can use that. So install Node. So Node is mandatory. Without this Node you cannot do anything. So Node is also installed in my laptop. So for example, if I go to the terminal, so if I check that Node, so my Node version is 18.17.1. So it is also mandatory to 18. So that is the process. It's mentioned how you can download the Node. So basically that is total separate part, like you can download and you can install. and after that you need to restart your CLI, and you can see your node version. And after that you have to install the SAP UI command line interface. So if you don't install the SAP UI5 command line, then you have to follow that npm installed global, or if you already install that, you can see the version. So in my case I already installed, so I can see the version. So that is, the version is 372. I think that is the latest version. So here it is also mentioned SAP UI5 CLR. So basically that all related to the command line. So if you install that, you did lots of work using the command line. So the step 6 is the install the Cloud Foundry command line interface. So this depends on your OS, Windows or Linux. So I am using the Windows. So basically in Windows, that is all about how you can download that Cloud Foundry or CF. So if you don't intend to deploy the service and apps to the SAP Business Technology Platforms, you can skip this installation skip. So as I told, that this total project is divided into two groups. One is to develop the project and another is to deploy. So if you think that you can only develop the project, you don't plan to deploy, then you don't need this. But I would recommend that you should also download this and activate this so that you can complete the full project. And add CAP tooling. So this is the tab tooling you can just use. I already it is the global, so it will install. It's already installed. I'm just showing how any type of npm node package management is to work. So it will take some time. So in your case, if you see that it is not installed, then you can install this way. And after that, CDS or core data service, it will work. And you can see the version. So let it be done. So now you can see that is already installed. So if I just use this, you can see that all CDS version related everything is there, and it is also showing that Node.js. So it's all good. So here is the installation of the Visual Studio Code. That is the same way you can just download and install. So here actually you need to know that how you can install any type of extension on your Visual Studio Code. So basically, if you go there is a extension panel. So here you can search and you can install. It's a very popular way that you can install in type of what you want. So here, if I follow this, like I have chose to extensions, and after that type SAP CDS. I think it is already installed here. Okay, so it is already tick marks, means that it is already installed. So if I go here, so basically what you have to do, you have to just click install. So for example, if I uninstall, now it is installed. So actually that is, you need to just install and it will install immediately. So this extension is required for this application. And after that, you need to restart your code after the installation. So that's it. You can also read this, but that is the Visual Studio and Visual Studio extension part. And we also need to install the SAP Fiori Tools extension pack. Let me just reorganize this. Okay, so after that we have to install the SAP Fiori Tool extension pack. So that is the same way we have to go to the extension. I mean that after installing the Visual Studio Code, everything you need to install using the extension. So we have to go to the extension. We have to search the Fiori Tool extension pack. So if we go there, if we search there, then you can see the SAP Fiori extension packs. So it is already installed. So but your case that these packs, there are several things you can see here. So all 8 pack will install. So there's another thing. So and we have to install the Yeoman. So basically that is I already installed, but if you don't install, you need to just execute this code, and after that you can use, like, if you, sorry, if I just copy this, so yeah, it is already installed. Otherwise we have to use this command line. So now actually we have to create a tutorial root directory. So this root directory is the where actually it will keep everything. So here actually that is the how you can create your root directory, and after that you can download that tutorial, and you can also the create GitHub. That is all about that how you can download and how you can store that downloaded code to your local systems, and after that you can create the branch. So I will not going to this download. I will not download that everything. So I will start from the scratch. So I'll start with this create new CAP based applications. But here if I recap, so basically that first we have to, for the double as a part of that environment readiness, first we have to download and install the SQLite. After that we have to editor can be VS Code, and after that we have to install that command line interface or CLI, and we have to install the Git. This Git is for that version management. We have to install the Node.js. We have to download and install, that is for the runtime environment. And we have to install the SQLite UI5 command line interface, and install the Cloud Foundry command line interface. That's for that's not mandatory, but if you want to deploy in the Cloud Foundry, then you need to install this. And after that you have to add command line to add the CAP tooling, and you have to install the Visual Studio Code. This code is for the for this, like where you write the code. And next of the time when you want to install any extension, then you can just install, you can just go here extension, search the package, and you can just install. So we have to install the Yammer, we have to install some extension here, and after that actually it is showing that how you can download and how you can store your data or the project, and how you can clone your GitHub repository. So you can do this, but I will not download, and I will start from the scratch. So now I'm directly going to the create CAP based applications. Okay, so this tutorial will show you how to create a new CAP based applications. So CAP based applications also require OData service. So here it is used so basically the OData version 2 and OData version 4. So here the version 4 protocol has been used, and after completing that you will learn how to CAP tooling, CDS in it, how you can create your project or how you can initialize your project, and how you can launch your projects, and how you can add file to your project. So mainly 3 things you will learn: that how you can initialize, or how you can create, how you can launch, and how you can add files. So first of all, let's start with the create and initialize the project. So here we have to go to the let me do this. So first of all, we have to go to the tutorial root directory. So for example, my root directory is the D projects. So I am in the project, which is my root directory, and after that we have to use the CDS. So now I will initialize a project that is called the CAP app. So this is the CDS what we install. So now for the CAP based applications we will use that CDS, and you can see that we don't need to go to any user interface. I can just write the command line and it will create. So that is the reason actually a command line interface need to install on your laptop, otherwise it will not work. So let's execute this. So now you can see the creating new the CAP project. So it is created and it is also there. So now if I go to the CD CAP, so here this project is here. So basically it has created the 3 folder. One is the app, that the applications, when we develop the applications, then app folder we'll use, and another is the DB, and another is the service. So now what we can do, how we can start. So if we are already in the CAP app, so if I just go, so now you can see that it open with that project what we just created. So here so now you can see that this project is opened with that thief folder, the mandatory folder, that is the app. So this app folder will contain the app what we develop, and that is the DB folder. So that is all database related information it will store there, and that is a service. So we have to create a service. This service will connect with that DB. So app will connect to the DB through the service. So that is the reason service is there, and package.json is a mandatory. So this package.json also it's created. So all done. Our initial, that is actually the part of the project initialization. So now your project, the baseline is already created. So now what we have to do, we have to install some additional service, or we have to install some additional package from the node package management. So that is the reason we have to go to the new terminal. We have to execute the npm node package management install. So here is also in the package you can see the some dependencies, so it is also install some dependencies as well. So now just execute this. It will take time, but it will complete. It is also depends on your network internet speed, so let it be done. So now you can see that nps package is already installed. So basically that is all installed. You will find that another folder here, and it contains that all required package, and if any dependencies is also installed here. So yeah, it's done. So basically now we have that app db node module and the service. We will work on that. So now what we have to do, we have to start, that is cds watch. So let it start. So it's basically that it will this watch means that it will watch everything. I means that whatever you do any activities, it will, you can see here. So now it is not any activities, so it's just waiting for some activities. So here also, like if you give if you get any error, so you can use is the follow the steps. Otherwise, like in my case, everything is fine. So now actually in the step 2 we will add some files. So this file you can download from here, or you can basically you need to add on schema. So where the schema is located, so basically the schema cds. So this is, so schema cds actually that is the database file. So you have to create under the db. So here actually that is the data, and under data you can create a new file that is called the schema.cds. So now you can see that is basically that dv data and that schema. So either you can download, or you can basically, this is the code for that. So you can just copy and paste. So this is the database schema. So this schema also following that SAP CDS common, and that is the namespace is the SAP UI risk management, and this is inherited from the SAP CDS common. So that is the reason we install that npm install. So we can find this here. So basically that is the SAP, then CDS, then common. So that is the common. So basically this inherited from this file. So that is the reason you need to install the npm. So now it is already, you can just save. Okay, so schema is now ready. So now what we have to do, you know that it's always work with the database and service. So we already created the schema, that is the CDS, and it has the two entity. One is the risks and another is mitigation, and you can see that is the properties and that column. And we have to create a service. So obviously the service should be under the service. So here to the SRB folder to your app. So basically that is the code here. So actually what we have to do, so we have to create a file, and this file is the CDS, and we have to so now you can see that like here. So what is working? So now that is the service, and this service actually using the schema, DB schema folder. So basically that is the DB schema, but actually the schema is like DB data, that schema. So what we have to do, we have to use this. Okay, so now it is getting, so it will create the service based on that risk and the mitigation, and this risk and mitigation, this is the risk. And so basically this this is the basically table, this is the columns, and based on that actually it is creating a service, and we'll use this service from our applications. So now what we can do, we can check the service. So we already created two service here. One is the risks and another is the mitigations, and let's check with that service. And from here you can see that like we already installed the local database, that is SQLite. So basically this is connected to the SQLite what in the beginning of the tutorial we installed, and it is connected with that SQLite database, and actually this schema deploy in that memory related database. And now it is also use the UData service for, and now we have also that service. So now this is the URL. Let's check that URL. So it is here. So now you can see that is the service, there is a metadata, and there is a two service. One is the risks and another is the mitigation. So if you click on that, you can see that is the value. Actually currently is not value, and mitigations, that is another service, and you can also see the metadata. So what is the metadata? Basically you need to know the, and you have to clear understand of that metadata. So first of all, that is the model. What is model? Model is that like that is the schema. With that model we know that okay, that is the table, and that table is connected with this table, and this table has that column, and what is the data type. But how our applications from CAP application, how it will know this type of structure, because as a human we can understand this, but if we create a project and this project actually understand everything from that metadata, so this metadata is a data that described to other data. What is the other data? This other data is that this table. So that is the reason, like whenever we work with that applications, these applications will only know that metadata. I mean that what is the type of how the data will connected, and what type of data is there, how many column is there, what is the behavior of this table, and what type of column is there. Everything is mentioned in the metadata. So that is the reason our application don't need to look at the model. It just see the metadata and it will take a decision and logic based on that metadata. Okay, so our service is running. We can stop the metadata from here, but everything is good. Like, I mean that as CDS watch is running, so whenever we click anything, it will just, like for example, if we click in the rigs, so you can see the rigs that get command is already showing here. So basically that is the another advantage of CDS watch. So you can see the Fiori preview also there, but I'm not going there. Let's continue with that tutorial. So now actually if we choose the rigs, it's already you have seen, because currently there is no value here. So basically that's the all done. So now what we have to do, so as there is no data here, so what we have to do, I just download the sample data and I need to paste in that system. So here I'm just insert these two files, insert the data. So you can see that CDS view also already noticed the change, and he is also successfully deployed in memory, and he also deployed this type of thing. So now basically inside the data we have that two sample CSV file, and that is also rigs, and another is the mitigation. So now if we come here, if we check the rigs, so now actually you can see the data. So this data actually basically it is coming from that rigs, but it used that service. This service is this. So now you can, so if I go back, if I go to the mitigation, I can also see the mitigations, how data is showing, because first we create a schema. The schema is based on that model. I mean that model, how the data is designed. It's kind of blueprints. So our data is there, and after that we create a service. The service is created based on that schema. I mean that it create the metadata describe that other data that all about that schema, and after that when our project is running, actually it is showing data based on that service. So now actually here that is the all type of service. We have created two service, one is the rigs and another is the mitigations, and both service actually look at to that schema or the table, and when we just copy and paste the CSV, that is automatically automatically actually you can see the mitigations, and automatically it's deploy in the mitigations, because this schema, the mitigations, and that is the risk. So both name, this name and this name, this name and this name is same. So that is the reason this system is intelligent and is automatically, when we paste the CSV file inside the data folder, it is already deployed in the respective table, and immediately we can see the data here. So this part is done. You can explore more, and you can also see the metadata. So in that metadata you can see everything's that all blueprints here. So basically, as I told, that it will explore everything's. So now actually this part is done, you can check that. So now actually we have to start with the create an SAP Fiori Elements-Based UI. Let's start on that. So now we'll create an SAP Fiori Element-Based user interface. So this tutorial shows you how to create an SAP Fiori Elements on top of your previously created CAP service. So what we just created. So you can also learn how to create an SAP Fiori Elements app on top of your previously created CAP application, how to modify the UI with OData annotations, how to make header info editable, how to check the annotation files. So here so basically that and SAP Fiori Elements app is an application that leverages SAP UI5, SAP UI5 controls, and SAP UI5 model, that is called that MBC concepts. In a plain SAP UI5 or Freestyle SAP UI5 app, all the views and controls are part of your project. In contrast, in an SAP Fiori Elements app, most of the code is outside of your project, managed centrally by the SAP Fiori Elements team. So the code inside your project only refers those central components. So they take care of creating the UI according to the latest SAP Fiori design guidelines and cover all the control logic for your out-of-the-box. The UI can be influenced by the OData annotations. They determine, for example, which properties of an OData service make up the columns of a table that displays the concept of the service. So now we will generate the UI with an SAP Fiori Elements template. So basically we will create basically SAP UI5 Fiori is a template based and metadata based. So that is the reason we will start the generate the UI with an SAP Fiori Elements template. So what we have to do, we have to just go to the view and the command, and here actually we have to start with that Fiori open application generator. Okay, so here you can see that all template. So here actually we have to choose the template type. It's look like, let me view Fiori open application generator. So it's look like that it is installing. So let it be install. So now you can see that SAP Fiori template has appeared. So if I want to show you again like that view, then command, and from here you can just open the open application generator, and it will open a list of template. Why template is there? Because the Fiori elements is the based on that template based and metadata based. So that is the reason you can, from here you can select the template, that which template you want to use. So here you can see the different type of templates. So you can also explore more, like that is the basic template. That is a freestyle application starting with an empty pages. Then that is a custom page and list report page. So that is also like just a preview. So if we select the template that create an SAP Fiori Elements application containing a list report and an object report. So if we use that report, so best of the template are based on the common approach which we generally use, and we can also modify and we can also add something based on our requirements. So if we select the list report page, here click next. So now we have to select the data source and service selection. So data source and service selections, so from here connect to the systems means that if you work or above systems or any other system, that you can select the above system. So currently our service is within that application, so that is in the local host, and you already noticed that we have created a service pack, and so that is the reason it should be use a local CAP project. And if we want to connect any UData service, for example, like you want to designer or you are a Fiori application designer, then you will have that any other data source, then you can connect with that. But that is also, you can, if you don't have any service, you have only metadata, that you can also upload. But in our applications, our Fiori element will connect with that application. So here we will use that just local CAP project. Okay, so what is the name of your CAP projects? Is as it is local, so actually you can see that already project is already showing, or if it is not showing, that you can select from the manual. And you can also see that what is the UData service. So basically that is our UData service what we already developed. So here actually that is the Node.js base, so that is all good. So we have to select next. Okay, so now here, so as there are basically the two entity, one is the risks and another is the mitigations. So here you have to select that which actually you want to select as a main entity. It can either risks or mitigations. So here actually you can realize that, like for example, one is the PU header and another is the PU details. So as a main entity, what you want to select, so obviously you have to select that PU list. Then once you select on that PU list, then the details will appear. The same way, here you can select the risks, and after that it is showing that automatically add table columns to the list page and the selection to be object page if none already exists. So here we can select no. Why is select no? Because we will add manually. I don't want to add automatically. So click next. So here actually attributes or project attributes, the configure the main project attributes, the main module name. So as per that tutorial series, it is the rigs, and that application title also rigs, and application should have namespace, just np namespace, and description a Fiori application, but we can say like risk. So that is the SAP UI5 version. It's showing that like SAP Fiori application is based on that SAP UI5. So this version is mandatory. So here actually this is the latest version. So I'm selecting this, but you can change later. So here this is it is no, and configure advanced option no. Just click finish. So now actually it is the application is now generated, and it's a few seconds. You can see in the app folder. Why it is in the app folder? Because this is application, so it will go to the app folder. So you can see that rigs app folder is there, and we already prepared that database folder, and we also prepared that service. So here, as I told earlier, that is basically work with that three folder. One is the applications, another is the database, and another is the service. And application is connected to the database using the service. So now our app is ready, and on that app you can see that is the main folder of the app, and that is the properties for the language purpose. So we add the title rigs, but if you don't want, you can change the title here, and you can also change the description, and you can add later. And that is the local service. That is the metadata. So if we click here, you can see that, sorry, it is we need to start. Then basically this is the metadata, same, it is stored as a locally as well. So like if we select like terminal, okay, so basically this metadata is stored as a locally. So it also created a test purpose. So I mean that integration test, pages, those type of things you can do. I also created separate video how you can test the unit test here. So this is part of the test, and that is the component, because it's a component based, and basically that is the index page. So in that index page, actually how that is bootstrapped, that in the beginning of the application it will download the all resource, and after that it is the component support. I have created lots of video using SAP UI5. You can check those type of video for this. And here So now you can see that that applications already started. So that is the package.json, that is the manifest. So this manifest is all about that data source. So now you can see that that is the URL, and that is the type udata, and the local URL is also there. Udata version is 4, and this all about that that is the main. So every data should have that model. So this model is also there. So routing also there. So if you navigate from one page to another, this is the navigation. So object page is there. So everything is prepared. Also annotation is there, package file is there. So basically all good here. So now what we have to do, so that is our rigs applications, that is TV, that is service. So now if you go back, so here you can see that is the web application. So that means that rigs, web app, and index. So basically it is locating the app, that rigs and web app, and here this is the index. So if we click there, it will open the Fiori app. So now you can see that your applications is ready. If we click on that go button, so here, like for example, if I select that just okay. So now you can see that is data is also there. So basically that is just a output of that application. It's not still it is not that, like if we remove something from here, so basically that is the created by and that ID. So now you can see that actually the Fiori app, you can search, everything is there, and like that configurations, everything is there. So basically you don't need to code that much. And here, like you can also do the short, you can do the group by. So so that is the reason, if you select, then it will create everything for you. I mean that almost everything it will create. So here, so yeah, I will continue with that other part. You can also see the sent email, everything is like the as a standard application, it is ready. So let's continue with the next part. So now we'll talk about the annotation. So here you can see that, like if we click here, actually nothing is coming, and we have to configure here. And you can also see that, like it is also those type of things is not well managed, something like that. From here we have to select, and we have to click on that, and after that it will come. So if we just refresh, everything is gone. And so that is the reason what we have to do. This annotation means that, like, additional information in a general term is missing. So now what I am doing here, this annotation file I downloaded from the tutorial, and I have to just copy and paste in that service. So now you can see that is the annotation file. is there, and CDS watch is already running and is already establish this annotation. So actually it's all about, I'm not going in details, but you have to remember that you have to be master on that annotation and the CDS view. So now actually you can see that if I go back, if I select, you can see the data is there. If we click there, it will just appear. So that is the reason we need to maintain the annotation. So if you change anything in that annotation, for example, if you change title, so everything will change automatically here. So for example, that here you like mention the title, so you already deploy in the production. So after that you want to change the title, like for example you want to change something like title 1, just save here. You can see that it's automatically changed in the UI. It is also changed to UI application, that is the title 1. So that is the reason actually you have to learn how you can develop the annotation and how the annotation works. In my YouTube channels also there are video. It's easy way I described how you can prepare the annotation, so you can watch that. So basically that is the things like the service and application and annotation. So let's continue with the next step. So now in this step we'll make the header info editable. So like here, if we want to change or edit something, or if we want to add new things, so like if we want to create, and here like we add some new things, for example test mitigation, it is like impact on okay, and like hi. So if we create here object created, and if we go so you can see that actually here these two is here, it is created, but the title and this there is no title. So actually this is not the properly editable. So in this case we have to change, we have to make it editable. So so here actually we need to understand that how actually it is working. So that is called that a routing system. So for example, if we click any pages, so that is all about that manifest. So here basically when we click, or if we click, that is the object page. So this object page is based on the triggers. So like here, then so first first it is like the roots, from roots is set the trigger, and the trigger it's the root object pages. So from here actually this page open. So here actually you can see the editable header content, it is false. So that is the reason it's not properly editable. So we need to just make it true. So now actually if we edit, then you will find that actually now it is editable. So basically that is the reason manifest file is important, and without manifest file you cannot run the projects. And in the manifest file you have to understand that data source file, you can see that all file, everything is mentioned in the data source, and data source also have that model. So this is the model, which model is using currently, and also the routing, how it is navigate from one page to another. That is all about targeting target and the route. So that is the reason manifest file you have to understand properly. So that's the thing. So now we have to check the annotation files. So now we'll add some logic. So for your case, so currently we can see some data is there, but actually there is no logic. So if we want to add logic, so that is the same, we have to use that service folder. So I'm just using the tutorial logic. So there is a logic. So that is a sample logic. In your case, you can change whatever the logic you want, and that's the same way you can change something like that. And now if you just go, you can see that has been changed. So now if we click anything, so you can see that is everything is showing here. So that is all about that. Basically I'm not going in details how this code is working, but you just I mean that just for the realization that whenever you want any logic, then how you can put the logic and where you can select the JS file. So that's it. Let's continue with the create a UI using the Freestyle SAP UI5. Now let's start with that UI Freestyle app. So actually there are some different between the Fiori based applications, element based applications, and the Freestyle app. So what we prepared and what we developed, so basically that is the Fiori element based, and you can see that like when we click here and it is going to the another pages, actually we didn't code for that like if we click here it will go another pages. So basically it's everything is coming from the elements, and the search option, everything is actually based on that Fiori elements. So those type of things, this control, the create, edit, this main page, everything is common based on the Fiori elements. We didn't code for that, but let's start with that Freestyle, so that you can understand actually what is the difference between two things, and also then you can understand that when actually you need the Freestyle or element based. So let's start with that. After that it will be more clear. So now the same way, the view, the common. So here open application generator. So here we have to, so template type we need to change here. So now actually that SAP Fiori work list application, and so you can see that create a custom SAP UI5. So basically what we created the time, like the Fiori. This Fiori last time list report page we created, actually both are based on the UI5. So here basically this is already created and we just uses this control, but if we use that freestyle, then also like it is already created. I mean that the both are the SAP UI5 implementations of the worklist application that follows the SAP Fiori design guidelines. So although here it is not written that it is UI5, but both are based on the UI5. So let's select that application, worklist application. So select here, click next. Same way we have to select the data source, local CAP project, that is the CAP project here. So here it is the risk. Okay, so just click next. So here that is the object collection. So here, so now we are creating for the for last time. So this time we are selecting the mitigation. So in the same way, object collection key, so that is the ID, and that is also ID object number, that is the none, and object unit measure, that is the none. Click next. And now we have to select the module name like mitigations, application titles also mitigations, namespace, description is also mitigations. So you can remember the last time when we select the SAP Fiori, that is also SAP UI5 version I have to select. So this time also the same. So that means that both are in SAP UI5. So now you can, it is generating. So let it be done. It is installing the dependencies. Dependencies means that the npm package is installing. So let it done. So now you can see that application has been generated. So now if we go to that, so now you can see that basically there are two applications. One is the rigs, that is the Fiori element-based, and that is the freestyle-based. So if we click here, so basically that is the, it's kind of, it's not it's kind of like it's a customized base, right? So still we need to customize, and after that it will be more visible here. But I just want to make sure that how it's working and what is the difference between the element based and the freestyle. So now that is in the app folder, you can add the more app here. That's the reason that they give the app folder. So now the mitigations is based on the freestyle. So now you can see that, like if I rigs, and it is also the web app, and that is also like web apps, but there is some difference is that, like, that is the view, I mean that is the XML view, and this object page, like whenever you click on here, this page is coming and you can find that is the XML. So here if you want to change something, so you need to change here and it will automatically appear here. And if you want to change some logic, then you can go to the controller, and that based on that controller you can create like that object controller. So here like when the page is loading, that time actually it is loading that page. So actually that is the difference. I mean that for example like you want another button here. So this is basically that like work list. That is the work list. You can see that is the title and everything is here. So header toolbar, everything is here. So like the data is coming, and this is coming from that database. So basically what I wanted to tell that is all the view based, and each and every view there is on controller, so that you can put the logic. And if you want to change something, then it will automatically change here. And if you want more view, or if you want to add new button, then you can also need to write the code, the XML based code. So I would recommend you that you can see that there are many UI5 based applications in my YouTube channel. There is a playlist, so that you can follow. This is not that much difficult, and I explain in details. So that is the reason I am not changing here anything, but you can go there and you can actually explore yourself. So yeah, that is the main difference. And if you go to the rigs, which is the elements based, that you will not find any the view and controller here. But if but this is the freestyle based, so that is the all like view and controller based. So that is the main things. And now actually you can explore what is the difference. You will find some documents even in that tutorial which I'm following. Also there is difference, but mainly actually you can explore more, but mainly I just wanted to show you what is the difference between two things. So yeah, there's the things. Now we will go to the steps, that is use a local launch page. So now you can see that we have two applications. One is the mitigations and another is the rigs, and both are the individual app. So if we click here, so you can see that both are the individual apps. So what we have to do, we have to like if we develop an application, that we make an icon, and we can set the icon on the desktop, and we can put that icon, and when we click on that icon, the application run. The Fiori also is like that. We have to prepare a Launchpad, and in that Launchpad we will have that two icon for the two applications, and when the user click on that, and it will be visible. So our risks and mitigation applications have been generated by the SAP Fiori application generator and can be started independently. So you can add a Launchpad for local testing, and this page look like a real SAP built work zone standard edition site. So here actually I will use the same, but in that tutorial you can explore more. And I have created separate video how you can configure in the real work zone and how you can build here. So what I'm doing here in the app, I'm just okay. So that is the Launchpad. I'm just copy and paste here. So that will be look like that real. And you can see that is the applications. One is the rigs and another is the mitigation app. So yeah. So now if we go to that, so now if we like, that is the, so now if we use this, so here like home, let's see what happened. Okay, so now you can see that the risks and mitigations, and it is also like risks and it's both indicating, like if you want more then you can just if you have more app then you can just copy and you can customize based on your app. So if I click on rigs, it should open the rigs. So if we click on that, okay, so now let's talk about the implement rules and authorization check in CAP. So here if we go to that service and the rigs service.js and rigs service CDS, so here we can put the restriction based on the roles and authorization. So that path, the rigs service, and after that the rigs service, and here the projection. So basically what we have to do is projection entity rigs. So here we have to put like so here if we, so basically that is the rig service, and here so basically what I can do, okay, so here entity rigs, and after that here as a projection at the same way, mitigation as a projection. So basically we will add that restriction here. So here that is the rigs restrictions, and the same way if like that is the rigs, and here entity mitigations, and Okay, so basically that there are two user. One user is like that is related with the risk viewer, and that is the related with that risk manager. So to that risk manager user, he can see only the read access, but manager will get that full access. In the same way, in the mitigations, the risk viewer user can read only the data, but risk manager cannot. Risk manager can do everything because the grant everything is there. So now actually we can add the user for testing purpose. So this testing in that package.json, if we go to the package.json here, that that requires so here I can just put that like the password, that is the user password, and just that is just for the testing, and I put here as the developments is not the production, and it is added in the package.json. And you can see that is the rule is the risk viewer and another is the risk manager, and that is linked with that service, that risk viewer and risk manager. And yes, now actually it should. So if we refresh here, actually it will refresh automatically as CDS watch is running. So here, so if we click on that mitigation, see, you can see that it's already implemented that security and access. So now actually if we go to the package, and that is for the risk manager, so if we put the user of that, so basically that is the manager, and if the password is this, try to log in. So it's not, the login is incorrect because here actually that is the risk related, but it is not the it is not actually because that is the risk related, but it is not the mitigation. So try to, like for example, if we refresh and click on that risk, so let it run, or if we go back and if we click here like rigs, okay, so now you can see, you cannot see the data. So now in this step we need to prepare for SAP BTP development. So I'm not going through these steps. You need to go to, I mean that how to create a trial accounts, how to create a sub accounts, and how to create a crowd founder space. Everything you can check, and actually everything is prepared, and I also created separate video for this, so I am not going this part. So add SAP support to your projects, I'm not doing this part. So client configuration. So here we need to, like, if we go back, so here I am starting with the CF login. So here I already log in here. So in that, the next step is the add SAP HANA support to your project. So here, that client configuration, cloud service, I'm not doing this. So here, client configuration. So okay, so now we need to add the HANA client for my project. So what I'm doing, so here, that is my root folder, so I'm executing that. So HANA feature has been added for the database, and also in the package, if I go to the package, so here CDS, okay, so actually that is the production mode and HANA database is there. So okay, that is done. So I need to check that our project is still working or not. Okay, okay, it's look good, like rigs. Okay, mitigations. So here actually we need to, restart that Chrome. In the previous step, there is a, it is mentioned how you can restart so that it will work. So I'm not going back. So we have to set up SAP HANA Cloud service. So here cloud service. Okay, in that sub account, you need to configure these for your database service. So we need to create that cloud service instance, and that space, everything is configured, but in your case you need to check the database, otherwise it will not work. So you need to get the dbadmin password, because you are deploying in the HANA database. So this all step you need to follow. And next step, so prepare user authentication and authorization. So what we prepare here, that is for our mock server, but when we deploy in the Cloud Foundry, that time we need to prepare that authorization using the access UAA setup. So let's click on that. So setup UX, so we have to run that. Okay, so you can see that is added authorization. and yeah, that is already added. So role and scope. So basically in the service service.cds from, and so in the service, that is the service CDS. So this already added. So here now what we have to do, we have to and access security.json. so here that is the access security.json. so here actually it is, you can see that is there because it's created. Like this is mainly for that production, and when you deploy in the Cloud Foundry, then actually it will get security from here. So this now actually everything is good. Now our step is to just deploy in multi-target applications, or what is called that MTA. So what we have to do, we have to just build that in our local directory. So here we have to check that is MVT is already installed or not. So here view terminal, okay, so that is good, it is good built. So now what we have to do, if you don't have, then you need to install that. For Windows you need to make tool, you need to just follow this and you need to install this, otherwise it will not work. And after that so now your version is trial, so you need to configure this name, and it's I already log in, and here let's check the plugins. So you can see that is everything is fine. Otherwise it is not, then you need to install here. So you need to declare the required Node.js version in the package. So it should there. So now actually we have to generate the MTA deployments. So here we have to first that use. So it is successfully added. So now actually this is done. So the package file, and now we have to exclude that CSV file. Because why we need to exclude that CSV file? Because it's already created with that sample data, but we don't want this sample data in the production. So that is the reason we have to, in the mta.yml file, in that file you can see like so builder custom, And comments, in that comments you can see that is the production and PN install production, and we also need to add that npm. So basically we need to use that npm install production npx cds build. This is not there, so but that is fine. npx, so using that actually it is exclude that unnecessary data. So now we have to, in that module, so now that MTA ML file, so here so you need to add the authorization just to allow that authorization. So here that CP app so here this you need to change. So here actually you need to rename that, it should be UAA, and that resource it should be, so let me check. Okay, so service to the allow user authorizations, update the name. So this update the name here, and add the resource as below. So here that is UAA, and this, and we have to add the rule collection. So that is the config. So config tenant mode here dedicated. After that we need to add this. So here we need to follow the same format like that. You can see that it just below the tenant, it also the value the tenant. So that is a rule, everything is there. So now it's look good, and now actually you have to build and deploy. Now you can, first you have to build. So you need to just copy here. Okay, so let's see. So here info done empty file is not valid, or property set required by the service module is not defined. Okay, so here we need to check why it is not happening. So if we go, so it says that service is not. Okay, so in the module, so in the modules, okay, so CP app. So basically that CP, actually that is the app service, and the require. So here actually we didn't add this, so it should be, so our name is CA, so now it's look good. Now try to build this again. Build. Okay, so CAP is not, CAP service is not defined because actually here there is a name. It's a problem. Okay, so basically we already renamed this, updated, so it's not required here because we already update and make the UAA, so it's not here. Just save and try to. Okay, so now it's fine, and you can see that it is build completed. So let's wait. So this is done. Let me, if we go there, there is a mtr file. So now if we try to deploy, so okay, so basically that is the CF target space is not mentioned, so we need to select that.